why do underachievers want to go into politics? Why that's not a good idea? It's a trap. And then also how you can fix that. So if you feel the urge to get into politics, and it's not just politics, it's like being part of a sports team or like hardcore religion, anything, how to actually fix that when you have these urges and what it psychologically means. Because underachievers are people that, for example, don't have their habits in place. They are broke, they are obese, they are stressed, are unsatisfied with the situation, maybe not like good real life interactions. And then it's all about, okay, where can I, because everybody's like, oh, everybody knows you're obese, like everybody looks at you. You can just tell from the looks of people, and you kind of don't have like any power over people, any control in real life. You can't even articulate yourself. You can't do anything. You don't have like any purpose or meaning you are striving towards. And then imagine you get all that hate, and you are like, everybody looks at you like you're worthless, and then you kind of feel guilty also about, oh, okay, they're kind of right, I'm kind of obese, I kind of have to stop eating, just as an example. And then you are like more likely or like tend to fall into these traps where you kind of get promised a community and moral high ground. Now you can tell people that they are wrong, they have the guilt. You kind of reflect your guilt and the hate you get then to other people. For example, people always hate on you because you're obese, and now all of a sudden you can start saying, no, you are the bad guys, you should feel guilty, I have the moral high ground, now I have something, I don't know, I eat vegan, or it's fat phobic, or whatever it is, and then you can finally find some meaning and purpose. All of a sudden you go from like don't know what to do to like, oh, I'm getting to this higher something, to this ideology, to this community, to something bigger than myself, and I have something to fight for. But I'm gonna go to why this is a trap, but you see why people tend to get into such things. And then all of a sudden you are special. Now you have a personality. Now you're that guy who everybody knows for, I don't know, being vegan, being in this political party, this extreme football fan, this hardcore religion guy. And there's a difference between the religion and following the advice of God. But community, that's a different topic. So you kind of then you start to be special all of a sudden. You kind of all of a sudden you have an identity, and you have, you don't have to feel that guilt anymore, because now you are the one that you can hate around and all that stuff. And you already see yourself, if you take political parties, because it's the most fitting for my examples, you kind of already see yourself on like posters around the city, you fighting for your political ideas, and you kind of seen as the moral fighter and something special, and you are, you're sacrificing yourself for something important. But there's the problem also with politics, obviously, that not every political guy is like, a loser or underachiever. It's really about some people, they get from their life, from their business, whatever, get experience, and then they want to go into politics because they want to fix certain things. But these people, they get into politics because of the idea of being into politics. And that's the trap, because, and you can ask all these like old political guys, they say nobody has the plan to go into politics. You just kind of get there by wanting to fix something, or you kind of, because I already said this 1.5 years ago in my first video, it was in German. I said, if you have no power, you have no influence, you have nothing. Why do you care about like political? You have nothing to say. And even if you are like then on posters and you are engaging in a political party, you have no credentials. You have nothing to say, basically. Nobody's gonna, like, you can be as many posters as possible, but everybody's just gonna know, okay, it's a mask, it's like for a fake portrait, you're kind of like, this like attention hungry guy, but don't care about your body. You are like, it's kind of like rich fat people, it's basically, oh look, I have this metric, I'm on this many but you're falling apart from inside. You're focusing on portraying something on the outside, while completely like you're chasing something that is not real. And if you have the urge to can I, because I saw this in the subway, like, oh, we won a World Cup, we won, and you're the losers. Bro, you're the loser. You are 20 years old with a belly talking about 20 men chasing balls while you are broke in the subway. Like, bro, what the fuck? So don't be like attached to these like communities, or it's all, especially in politics, it's like two wings from the same bird. It's everybody up there is winning, you are the one losing. It's all fake. You're fighting all this just to be a puppet for the puppet masters. In public, your face is everywhere for your super cool ideas. For what? Like, you didn't achieve anything. Like, congratulations, you can now tell other people what they have to do with their money that they earned with their success. Like, I can't control my family, but at least I have some control over other people, or like you didn't achieve anything, you're just trying to set the rules, and this is pretty lame. Like, in my opinion, you should try to get the influence through money, through social networks. And if you then feel like it's additionally necessary to get into politics, for sure. But, otherwise it's just, like, no experience. This is the problem. People get into politics, they have no experience from real life. They don't have any actual knowledge. They can't even talk. Like, they can't articulate themselves. And then they want to get into politics because they have these, like, psychological ideas that I talked about, and then you get into politics with actually no knowledge. Like, you don't have any economic knowledge. Like, like this is really problematic. And Andrew Tate said this in a video. If you want to be respected, then you should first focus on, building up a good physique, because it's actually like something where it's the only thing you cannot buy. It's like you are not successful if you're not in good shape, and then you look. Then you can actually like meet business partners. You can actually talk. You actually can be more respected, because who wants to listen to someone like the advice can't be that life changing if your life sucks. Like, why do you want to? But this is exactly the thing. You kind of now. You can be something special. Now you get a personality, make something out of your life. And I mean, you're still like, you can do all this fake stuff, but at the end of the day, what did you achieve? Like, like you still have no meaning. You're still like, nobody looks up to you. Like, it's all fake, So this is, in my opinion, really important, that you focus, if you have this instinct to get into like some sort of club, if you feel like, like subconsciously if you feel like, oh, if you tend to have these kind of behaviors that I talked about, focus on stuff that actually improves your life, get really good at specific things that you can provide to other people, and like, nothing of this external thing is ever gonna fix you. This emptiness, this void, like, people who go like into this politics thinking about, oh, everybody's gonna look at me and listen to my words. Okay, bro, you kind of talked your way up there, but like, what did you actually achieve? Who's doing more good? And it's not about it's like, you can see this with a lot of politicians. Mostly they get into control by telling people what they want to hear, and whoever talks in a most certain way. You know, it's not about realism, it's about if the direction is clear that you promise, people's brains are gonna just be easier to receive it. And that's why the really complex ideas that are sometimes right fall apart, you know, because people can't understand them. And yeah, so gain experience, get into the knowledge yourself, and that was kind of my entire point of this video. Yeah, see you guys.